Hello everyone and welcome back to Aguirre Capital. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about my 29.6% winner of last week. Alright, so this trade happened in 2 days. So I opened this trade on Wednesday, which is right here, and I ended up letting the trade run until Thursday. So this was roughly a 1 day trade and one whole day trade, right? And this was probably my best in terms of point wise, my best trade of the year, and possibly my best trade ever, right? And here are, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down every single detail that led me to taking this trade and how I ended up, my psychology behind the trade and the process, right? So we started off on Sunday. Here is Friday, Sunday, Monday. We were Friday, Sunday, Monday right here. So we started off trading at around 43.20s, around the 4300s, right? Low 4300s. And we made this, if I zoom it in right here, we made this basically liquidity sweep right here, right? So if I can explain to you guys what a liquidity sweep is just a bunch of orders that go in the market and they take out the buyers, and they most of the time are used to reverse. And this happened again, and I'll show you guys later in the video. So price just comes, shoots up, and then brings all the sellers into the market, and then from this moment on we reverse, right? This was a very good opportunity to be selling, and I ended up buying at this point in the market. And later on I realized that this made much more sense to be selling, right? So we have liquidity sweep right here, we break these lows, and so the next target that we have is this low right here. We end up breaking this low again, and throughout this whole move, I was caught up in a couple of buys, and I regret going for buys because I see that the market is going short. So the best option, the only option that I have when the market is going short, is going short with the market, right? But it's part of just evolution and getting better. Now, going back, two things that I want to say. One is conflicts and war. So there was war going on during this week on the market, and like I said in one of my videos, we have to pay attention to Wednesday and Thursday lows, right? Whenever we make a low on Wednesday and Thursday, we end up reversing after that low, right? And so I was basically running after that low all the time, and of course I ended up catching that low and profiting a lot from it, right? And so the second thing is, one is, if the market is dropping a lot, which it did, you wait for the Wednesday, Thursday low, and second, you wait for Trump to say that a deal is going to go through, or he's looking to make a deal with some kind of country, or to end the war, and that's exactly what he said, right? And so those two things happen at the same time, and those two things have been happening for the past couple of weeks, right? So the only thing that we have to pay attention to is when all these confirmations are in place at the right place and the right time, and just capitalize from it, right? So here I actually had entered, like I said right here, 5 entries, right? So 5 times. So I had 5 positions. So if I can break this down, is, let's just say this is one position right here, one order. For an example, I had entered first on this 1 hour candle right here at 6 p.m. And then I have multiple orders like this. So second, boom, multiple orders right here. And then I ended up, once we made this, if I can go on the 5-minute, I'll break down more clear. So right here, So we first made this low right here, like I was saying, right? We made this low, boom. And then right after that, I started to I entered 2 trades, and the rest of them were limit orders, right? So limit orders were going through right here. And I actually, right at this bottom right here, I decided to cut 2 of them. So because of risk management, and like I said, risk management is the most important factor in trading, of protecting your capital. I decided to cut those 2 trades and let the other 3 basically flow, right? Let them run. If I take a bigger loss, I'm okay with it because I'm responsible for clicking the button. And the reason I'm okay with it is because of my basically confidence of this trade going my way, right? So those 3 orders ended up reversing. Of course, we reached back right here again, and then we ended up reversing after that, and the rest was just a movie, right? If I go back here, we ended up going sideways for a little bit, and like I said, waiting for the Wednesday and the Thursday low is the most important factor in this, because we always make a high after it, like I said in the video, right? And then, of course, we start to. This is when Thursday, when Trump announces some kind of news, and right after that, my first target right here was eventually breaking these highs, this zone right here. And then right after that would have been right here on the left, right? And my number one target, as you guys can see right here, my take profit is around the 43.18s or like 43.20s. And so I ended up taking profit on this trade because I was already up about 29%. And of course, it's a huge win. And I'm more happy about catching this 153 points on one trade, because the other 3 were also 150. So total is about close to 400, a little bit over 450 points. And the reason behind that is because the more points I can get, the better is for me to scale. For example, if I have a 10-point trade and I can just scale the lot size, I'll make more money. And so if I just focus on making the money, I'll have a bigger lot size, and sometimes I won't catch enough points. And so my goal is to catch more points in the market and then scale the lot size. That'll make a lot more sense to me. So yeah, we ended up retesting here, and I entered one more time for this trade around here. Let me check my other entry. Was 206, exiting at 221. 206.35, and then profit was 21.31. So this was the trade right here, and then it stops, of course. This was the trade right here. Stops were below this low right here. So this was a 1 to 2. The reason why I entered this trade was after this candle closed above the moving average, and of course I saw we making this higher low, and then this I consider as another higher low right here. Ended up just closing at 14.9 points, so that's still a good trade, and my stops were 7 points, right? And then this one as well, I caught 153 points with my stop being at 15 points, and that's what I said about letting the trade run, because my stop is not even that big, even though I had 3 orders to pay attention to, and my risk to reward ratio on this was a 1 to 10. So yeah, just amazing trade. All right, so bigger trade, biggest trade of the year, definitely, and hope to catch more trades like this soon. And what I'm expecting for this week is I'm actually gonna sit down and wait a little bit, see how we're gonna open. I think we're gonna open with a gap. So either we're gonna open with a gap up or a small gap, right? And I'm just waiting for us to open on Sunday and see how we're gonna react, and then I'll just plan my week from there. All right. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys liked the video. Hope you guys liked the trade, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.